Welcome once again to J Holy FX. We are going to be looking at this currency pairs you guys can see on my watch list. We are on our $100 to 10K challenge, and we anticipate to reach that threshold within 30 days from we're expecting to start from the 1st of this November through to around the 15th of December. And this week we were looking at some setups, expecting to have a clear entry so we could take a trade. But right up to now, we have not had any clear entry yet. But I believe in the days ahead, they are going to play out well for us. So I'm going to be doing a top-down analysis. I'm going to be breaking down this setups we are looking at and showing you guys where we'll be expecting potential entries and exits. And our system is just to set and forget, place the trade and we forget till we reach our take profit. And in one way or the other, we equally trail our stop losses up to when we are comfortable, or to take the trade, let the trade hit or out in a risk-free system. All right. So, but in the days ahead, we are going to be having a video on risk management. Equally, we are going to be having the other confluences we look at when we take a trade. But for this particular video, I'm going to be starting everything from zero and drawing the zone so you guys can see. I've had a lot of people ask me to do a video on the zone, so I will just analyze from the monthly right down to the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame so you can see how we spot out our zones. That said, let's start with US dollar, Canadian dollar. We are on the monthly time frame here. And if we want to look, this market has been in a consolidating zone. You can see this zone price has been consolidating around here for like a minute. It's been there since network is not the best place, so price is going to be difficult for us to have this smooth transition from one time frame to another. So since 2015, we have had US dollar, Canadian dollar consolidate around this area. From the monthly time frame, we can see the high, low, another high, another low, another equal high, and at this level is consolidating more around the monthly high. All right. So for now, what we are going to be looking at, we're going to be expecting price to reverse from this area to the downside, and that is all we can spot on the monthly time frame. Price is neither in an uptrend or downtrend. It's consolidating around this zone here. So let's step down to the weekly time frame if we can add more sense into this analysis. I'm not going to be switching colors for time, please. So we are going to spot equally this lower zone here. We are going to spot this lower zone here. This zone down here has equally acted as potential support, where price has had several rejections around that area. Okay, like I said, your network is not the best, so transition is going to be disturbing a lot. So that said, oh my god. So that said, we can actually spot price here moving from up to down, equally consolidating around this area, giving us higher highs, higher equal lows, equal highs, equal lows, equal highs, equal lows. So if this is what we can spot from the monthly time frame, and as we all know, I have been preaching here every day, if we spot a W pattern like this, the next thing we want to see is price coming back to test this neckline. When they test the neckline, before they can give us another push to the upside, and we can spot this W pattern right here. This is a W pattern. Price has created this W pattern, and what we anticipate to see, or what we expect price to do again, is to come down for a retest to test this neckline before they take another push to the upside, so they can give us the impulse retracement impulse move. All right, that said, let's take our Fibonacci tool to add more confluence into this analysis on the monthly time from the weekly time frame, sorry, so we can be seeing to which direction price will be going. If that be the case, we will measure our Fibonacci tool from the lows to the present high. And if we measure that, we're going to spot out that the neckline is around the golden zone, the 0.618 level of the Fibonacci. So we expect price now to reverse right down to the golden zone, so we can have a clean impulse again to the upside. That said, we expect price to push down, then up again. This monthly zone, we might be forced to push this a little lower on the weekly time frame, so we can have as much touches as we can. So you have one touch here, two, three. This is the fourth, and we expect price to still push to the downside from here. So let's see what we have on the daily time frame, so we can add more meaning into this analysis. If we look on the daily time frame, what do we see? We can spot price has given us this double bottom here and created this push to the upside. And each time we have a double bottom formation, we expect price to come back to test that neckline. And that neckline has been previous support that has become resistance. And now we expect it to give us to pull price down to it. All right, so at this level we are expecting price to give us a push to the downside. After testing this high here, we expect price to give us a push to the downside before they give us another push up, as we saw on the weekly time frame. And to add more meaning into this analysis, we can see this area has acted as potential support several times. Here and here again, we had a double bottom here. They went came for the retest breakthrough, and now they have acted here as resistance. So if price acts here as resistance, we expect them to push back down before they give us another push to the upside. If that makes sense, you comment sense in the comment section. And now let's step down to the 4 hours time frame to see what we are going to be looking at before we can take an entry. All right, so at this 4 hours time frame, what we want to see is we have price that has given us this high here. It's in an uptrend, no doubt. There is no doubt here price is in an uptrend, unless this zone here is broken. If price breaks this highs here and break this low, we will be expecting a pushback up before we take a drop to the downside. All right, early sellers might jump in here for a sell, but price could still want to form a Y-curve formation, go up, hit people out, and they start going down after the up thrust after distribution. So after the distribution is finished here, we want to be taking the trade immediately they break this high. When price breaks this high to the downside, we're going to be having a clean counter trend line here that we equally want to break that trend line. Okay, if this trend line is broken, what we expect is we will want price to push down, do what they do here, break this zone to the downside, come back for a retest to test this trend line and our resistance that resistance that has turned support here, that might turn support here. Now again, support might happen here, and whatsoever they do here, we are not interested. Right, we are just observing to see where we can get a clear entry after price has shifted direction from bullish to bearish. So that is practically what we are looking at on this currency pair. So we're expecting to get an entry here with our take profit right down here, where we expect the neckline 230 pips, and we are going to be risking maybe 50 pips or whatsoever price gives us. That is what we are going to be looking at. That is all we have for US dollar, Canadian dollar, ladies and gentlemen. So